Hello?
Pay no mind to the performative male monkey cutout. It was gifted to me as an anniversary present. Aww. Couldn't be happier. If you've been a viewer on this channel before, you know that not only am I 6 weeks late to every trend, but also I am no stranger to dudes being embarrassing on main. From the horned up mask talk bros seducing all the 45-year-old divorced aunts out there, to the quote-unquote daddy doms, posting their list of felonies, kinks, to TikTok. There's something so captivating, so awe-inspiring, and so intrinsically hilarious about men posting cringe online. Maybe it's because I'm just taking the piss, maybe it's because I know that they can take it, or maybe it's because it just makes me feel cooler, knowing that I myself have never posted cringe. In fact, you could go through every one of my videos and not find a single example of cringe. Go ahead. I'll wait. But for as much as I thought I was done after those 2 videos, I couldn't shake the feeling that there were more embarrassing dudes out there. Over the past few months, it's felt like there's been some cosmic force or some supernatural entity just haunting me, keeping me awake at night, tossing and turning, like there was some unfinished business.
Yo.
What?
You hear about these performative cafe bros?
What? No?
Yeah, no, these dudes go to cafes and shit, reading books like they're fucking Aristotle. It's like, who do you think you are, bro?
Who even reads anymore?
Chicks, mostly, so these dudes think they'll get pussy if women see them reading or listening to Claro.
Who?
Anyway, you should make a video about them. It'll probably get a lot of views.
Performative cafe bros, or performative males, or performative book bros, or whatever the fuck I decide to call them in the title, shut up, is a new phenomenon where dudes will go out into public spaces with the sole purpose of being perceived as attractive, intelligent, and desirable to women. And I know what you're thinking, Patrick, it sounds like you're just describing yourself. Are you a performative male? Well, thank you, but no. Because it's one thing to care about how you look, how you dress, and go out in public with the hopes to make a connection. That's just called being a human. But it's a whole other thing to craft an entire persona around what you think others will find interesting, regardless of your personal interest in said thing. That's the performative side of it. I'll give you an example. Take this dude right here. Bro, going to a cafe in the big 2-5 and busting out the local Gazette. What are we doing, guys? We all know you're not reading that. Just take out your cell phone and doom scroll brain rot like the rest of us. Come on, I know you want to. Come on, join us. Join us. Come on, join us. Now, this is probably one of the more extreme examples. I guess reading a newspaper at a cafe is supposed to make you look more sophisticated and attract some sophisticated old soul baddies. You know, women that enjoy reading the paper and spinning yarn and not voting, I guess. But it absolutely draws attention and intrigue from those around him, and that's the entire point. And while Newspaper Man over here might be a one-off example, when it comes to determining what makes a performative male, there are tons of red flags that people have cultivated to keep you safe from being manipulated at your local coffee shop. And after doing tons of research on the topic, here are my top 10 telltale signs that a dude might be a performative male. I am Watch Mojo now. Editor Patrick, give me a sick-ass countdown graphic.
Let's go!
One of the most prominent signs of a performative man is reading in public, especially in situations where it doesn't make sense to read, like at an event, or I saw one woman describing how a man was reading in an elevator.
I'm sorry, I just walked into the elevator with a man and he started reading a book. Like, where do you think we're going? Into fucking orbit?
And a lot of times there's a focus on the books being very faux intellectual. I think some examples I saw were people talking about dudes reading Infinite Jest or works from Sylvia Plath. Don't ask me what those are. I haven't read a book in like 5 years. I bought a copy of The Hobbit a while back that I've taken on every single vacation I've been on, only to never read it a single time. I am literally brain dead. But apparently dudes will read these types of books to look more intellectual and thus again, more desirable to women. And I've seen a ton of examples of this, especially dudes reading in cafes. But truly, I do think it boils down to what you're reading more than anything. Like, it's one thing to read Diary of a Minecraft Zombie, Book 15, Attack of the Gnomes in public. Personal favorite. But it's a whole other thing if the book is fucking boring for the sake of looking artsy, and you're holding the book up like this so that every woman within a 5-mile radius can see that you're reading Woman's World, A Man's Guide to Serving Their Queens. All that tells me is that you're just looking for attention. Because if you were really about that life, you wouldn't be at a cafe reading a book and trying to manipulate women. You'd be at home getting pegged right now. But for real though, that is another big part of it. Not the pegging, but holding the book cover out while trying to look intellectual and deep in thought, striking fucking anime poses just to show it off, like... Also, comment down below if you can name all of those anime poses, and at the end of the video, I'll let you know what you can win. Engagement. According to a lot of these TikToks describing performative men, another sign falls on their music taste. With examples being artists like Clairo, Phoebe Bridgers, and the Babadook? Booby? Shit, sorry, I can't call her that. The performative men will call me a misogynistic pig. I'm sorry. Now, I'd never heard these artists before because, believe it or not, I am actually a 45-year-old man. But after listening to some of their songs, it sounds like they all fall under the sad girl aesthetic category. And I know this because immediately after turning them on, I found myself longingly looking out a car window in the rain. I was gonna do a longer skit here, but then it never rained, and it looks like shit, so whatever. Who even cares? I blame Jesus H. Christ. But I guess the idea here is, if you're a big burly man, you would never like this kind of music, if not to appeal to women. Oh, you cry in the shower listening to Phoebe Bridgers?
I cry to Phoebe Bridgers in the shower, and I listen to C Rose and Boy Genius, and the dichotomy is crazy.
That's performative, bro. Oh, you own every vinyl record from Booby Dooby Doo? Pff, she ain't gonna fuck you, bro. Grow up. Oh, your favorite song is Landslide by Fleetwood Mac? What are you, gay? And another thing noted alongside music is that performative dudes love using vintage music players or wired headphones, collecting vinyls or VHS tapes because they miss the simpler times. And again, like the newspaper thing, I understand why this is seen as weird. Everyone has music available on their phones, every phone has Bluetooth, and most phones don't even have an aux port anymore. And you can't even make the excuse that Bluetooth headphones are expensive, because you can literally go down to Five Below and buy a pair of Sonic the Hedgehog Bluetooth earbuds. Yeah. I believe these were like $10. Yes, from Five Below. Capitalism ruins everything. But still, that's not bad. So if you've held on to your old wired headphones all this time because you thought Bluetooth was expensive, well, now you know otherwise. You know what they say? You live and learn. I'll admit, I probably know the least about this section, probably because I am just so far from performative. I'm just so genuine, and I live my truth every single day. I just don't know much about fashion. I am just your classic graphic t-shirt and basketball shorts kind of white straight guy. Sue me, I want to be comfy. But when it comes to fashion, tote bags, thin wire glasses, cropped pants, accessories, or a matcha latte are all signs of a performative man.
Well, shit.
Hence my lovely monkey man over here. Notice I also added the matcha latte as part of the fashion, because honestly at this point, people pride themselves on even their drink matching their fucking aesthetic. Sure, man, whatever. What's next? Are we gonna start dyeing our foods to match our outfit of the day? Was Sam I Am just having a brat summer? Maybe that was cringe. Oh my god, my infant child does not match my goddamn aesthetic. Hold your breath, sweetie. Obviously, I'm being dramatic, but yes, performative guys are all about their aesthetic. If I'm being honest, the clothes side of things, I don't really see an issue with. I really wouldn't mind a tote bag to carry my shit in, and dressing nice in general is kind of performative at its core, so like, not much to criticize. But I understand how things like matcha becoming like a part of your fashion statement could be seen as performative. Because you know what? Why are you, as a man, ordering matcha from a man and not black coffee like a man would drink? Straight from the coffee cow teat, like a man. Pussy. I said what I said. I was going to mention how men collecting Labubus is also performative, but then I realized that I am an avid Pokemon card collector in the year of 2025, so, I don't have room to talk. I lied. This whole video, I've been explaining what a performative male is, giving examples, and showing clips to illustrate my points, but I have a confession. None of these examples were real. Every example I could find of a supposed performative man in the wild being criticized in the comments for clearly putting on an inauthentic image for attention was either staged or a parody, confirmed by the creators themselves. Even the newspaper guy, even the Labubu warrior, everything. Because when it came to finding genuine videos of these kind of guys, I could barely find anything. And even when I did, it was never as blatantly obvious as the parodies made them out to be. A lot of times it would just be like a dude reading in the park, which, let's face it, is not really performative. It's just getting outside and enjoying nature, something your ass could use more of. Now, does that mean I don't think performative men are real? No, of course not, because they've always been real. Dudes pulling out all the stops to look as interesting or unique as possible in hopes to get attention from women? It's a tale as old as time. For example, you ever see one of these dudes? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I play. How could you tell? So, anyway, here's Wonderwall. That's a performative guy right there. I mean, come on. You see how eager he was to perform? Pff, and don't get me started on talent shows. Filled with those cringe-ass performers. To me right now, it feels like a classic case of TikTok exaggeration, where maybe one video came up talking about it, a label was put on these kinds of guys, and the cringe collective decided that it would be really fun to make fun of these guys. Which I totally understand the appeal of, obviously. In fact, this whole trend reminds me of another thing that came up recently, where a girl posted a video talking about how her ADHD gave her polyphonic perception, which allowed her to listen to music better, I guess. Which in turn sparked tons of parodies and deep dives about the subject. Does that mean there are droves of people claiming to have polyphonic perception in order to feel more unique in the way they listen to music? Eager to diagnose themselves with a new hip label? No, it was like one or two TikToks that blew up and then thousands of people decided to parody it. And I feel the same can apply to the performative men described in these videos. For as many parodies as I've seen, you'd think Performative Males would be a massive problem. And yet, I've barely seen any. And if I'm being honest, if it wasn't for the fact that people started reclaiming the Performative Male title and celebrating the absurdity of it, then I would have considered this another example of shaming people for expressing themselves and the things that they like. So for as much as I've wasted your time going into every example and warning sign of these kind of guys, I'm sorry to say, but all the evidence is pointing to performative men only existing in the real world. Of course! Why didn't I think of this sooner? These people are parodying their own life experience, not videos they see online. No wonder I haven't been able to find videos of them. Which means I have no choice but to go out and find them. After spending 10 hours at my local, mysteriously Panera Bread-shaped cafe, I learned a lot. Did a lot of people watching, self-reflecting, even ordered a completely authentic matcha latte and not just whatever green drink they offered. But still, even after all this time, it seems that performative males are much harder to come by than I thought. Oh, wait a second, is that The Hobbit? A man with taste. Okay. Not to mention the Pokemon shirt basketball short combo. Very respectable. And is that a mango fruit smoothie? I could have been drinking that instead of this boiled lettuce piss, and there's no way. Wow, do I want to f*** this man? Hey, couldn't help but notice you're reading The Hobbit. I've been trying to read that for a while.
Why are you talking to me?
You're right, I'm sorry, that was stupid. Oh, and by the way, these are the answers for the anime poses in the reading segment. So if you commented those down below and got them correct, your prize is that you're a huge weeb nerd who is more embarrassing than all the guys we talked about today.